No, almost.
Almost.
Okay, so yes, it is Black History Month. Yay! Not stay woke. Are you woke? Are you wake? Are you woke? Are you wake and woke, or you just woke?
I'm woke.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because people always out here acting like they woke and wake,
And they really take
but really they got a nap. They in a nap, one eye open.
No,
So
sometimes
anyway,
a nap is necessary, so I'm just woke.
no, you do. Yeah, that's part of self-care.
Hey.
You gotta take naps. So, yes, it is Black History Month, and we're excited. And don't forget, you can call in. The number is 404-436-1277. So I'm Krishna,
I'm Victoria.
And I'm Kristen.
and we are the ladies of A Side of Shade. Okay, sexy. So
When you can see yourself.
yeah, when you can see yourself, it's kind of weird. It does make a difference. Then you like, well, what about this? What about that? My forehead is a little shiny. It's all of the above. All right.
Should have worn a bigger earring.
Are you through? Okay. So tonight we are talking about.
But why?
I was waiting for her to say that.
Oh, okay.
But why? It's really a but why for everything in our lives, and then of course around the world, as I said. But not really around the world, but I'm just saying locally, nationally, but not really around the world, because I'm not saying we don't care about
But stuff, but like stuff that just we feel like it's just another thing that won't allow us to just be.
Right.
Like
right.
we just want to be.
Yeah. And like, what does that really mean to just be? For me, I'm just like, when you just want to, I just want to be me. I mean, I want to have my edges together.
Yes,
I want to
edges.
have I want my gel to lay down my edges properly.
That's important.
I got to have my makeup. I got to have, like, there's all these things a part of just being these days.
Right.
You can't just.
Well, that's the thing. When you try to just be,
You get caught up.
You get caught up.
You do.
Because what you end up being like, well, do I need to have this much? Like, do I need to search for color corrector
Yes.
for 2 weeks? Yes.
Yes.
I mean, but according
Because
to
I
who
could
though?
Right.
Right.
Because there's
According to the standards of living.
this one, right. There's
Of
a new
life.
standard of makeup. When you have a friend who's a makeup artist and does your face and your beat, and you're like, damn, I want to look like this every day now.
Right.
Whereas
Well,
before, I was just like, okay.
But
And
you
it
didn't
wasn't-
know until you were introduced to the
But then
light.
No,
once
that's
you
the thing.
see something
But that's
different,
See, that's what I'm saying. Once you see, you
Yeah.
can't
and then I'm
unsee.
like, damn, now I gotta go find.
Cause you what?
You woke. So that's the part. That's what I'm saying. So when you awoke, I feel
Mind
like
blown.
woke is on so many levels. It's not. I mean,
It's really not.
no. Listen. No.
We just make it
No.
up.
Hear what I'm saying about the different levels of being woke or wokeness, if that's even a word. What I'm saying is being woke for what everybody's saying it is being woke and being present into what's going on, being conscious of what's happening out in the world, and not just being closed in a box of your own world and what's true to you and
Right.
yourself
We have
and,
a call.
and thine self.
And dying.
But it's being aware of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the level of wokeness, sometimes I feel like some people just take it too far.
Yeah.
Where they just go, they be down the street. I like how my hands, see my hands be like that. They be down the street.
And that doesn't allow you to just be. Because
Exactly.
you feel like now I gotta participate
Exactly.
in the movement.
In
Now I
any
gotta do
movement
these
that's
different
happening.
things. Now I gotta look this way. Now I gotta.
Well, let's
You
see.
know.
Oh, we got
what
we
our
got
caller
caller.
thinks about the woke.
Okay, what is the caller saying? Hello, caller.
Hey.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Hi.
Hi, who is this?
Who is this?
I'm sorry, who is calling?
Caller, who are? Can you
This
say
is
who you
Mr.
are?
This is Mr. Pope calling. I wanted to know what the topic was today.
Well, hello, Papa Pope.
Hey,
How
Papa
are you?
Pope.
Hi, Daddy.
The topic is, but why?
But why?
The topic is what?
But why? But why? We have questions of but why.
Oh, why?
Yes.
Oh, why what?
No, but why?
No, it's
Right.
not why.
So I'm going to do all these things, but why?
And
it
why do I need to?
So when we're talking about being woke to yourself, I'm like, but why do you feel the need
Right.
to do all these other things as opposed to
But
just
why?
being?
Yes.
Okay.
That was all? That was it? That was all?
All right, then, well, continue doing what y'all doing. I don't know why.
But why?
Just like a supportive
Exactly.
parent.
Thank you. Thank you, Papa Pope, for calling
Hey.
in.
All right, let me know when y'all ready to order something.
You know what?
Goodbye. Hang up the call.
Hold on. The minute you say when your father call in.
On your way home,
On your way-
I'm gonna need you to stop and grab something for me.
I can't. That's what happened when your father called in.
That's hilarious.
That is. No, but
Don't be laughing, Mackenzie.
So yeah, so go.
No, but I'm just
so
saying,
being
like,
woke-
the-
it's being woke to the situations going on around you, but also to yourself and recognizing when you need to do the extra stuff, right? And,
Right.
like, how it's impacting you, and what does it mean for you to just be?
right, but then in the state of being sometimes it's just like, okay, I may not want to wear makeup today. Oh, hey, I may not want to be on social media today. I may not want to sometimes I just want to be,
Yeah.
and I don't want to do anything. But sometimes I feel like, especially as women, we often feel like we should be doing something.
Right.
So it's always this should factor that goes into it. Like, should I be doing, like, if I do take a day off and just want to chilling turns into I'm doing the laundry, I'm doing this, and then I'm gonna check on this, and then I don't
It's
do
never
it.
a
And
day
it's
off.
never just a day off because we feel like we should be doing. So the state of being, just being, we can't just be because we feel guilty of just being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think. So anyway,
Where do you think that comes from, though?
I just think it's the standard we put on ourselves. I don't know, but I guess the world made.
I'm about to
you
say
think-
it's the standard that we have been conditioned to live
Do you
in.
think it's different for women and men?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because that's the point.
So,
That's
but
the
the
point.
Because
condition-
even with like what you were saying about the state of being, so you can be at home and just be with no makeup on, but then you can be at work and just be and feel like, but I have to do that little bit of extra because I don't want my whatever to be a distraction. Like I don't want my hair being untamed to be a distraction. I don't want my dark circles being a distraction, or I don't want my outfit.
But
Dramatic
I'm
pause.
just saying,
To be
but
a distraction.
today your
So it's
outfit-
never just a
hold
state of
on,
being.
hold on.
It's always
hold
another level.
on. Your outfit was a distraction today. I'm sorry, it was.
My outfit was a normal outfit.
It wasn't.
I was just being.
Because when-
Here I
hold
was.
on.
Oh, see,
I was
Oh,
being
this is good.
great.
Great,
And you
round.
wouldn't have let me.
I'm sorry. I mean,
makes
I'm
me
all
great
for you
anyway.
being great, and don't get me wrong, people. I'm all for people being great within the village. I'm here for it. Let your greatness shine. Let it shine. But what I'm going to also tell you is when it's inappropriate, I will let you know.
I'm sitting here right now. There's absolutely nothing inappropriate about my attire.
Yes, for Saturday.
From here.
Do you see this?
up.
Dom, do you see this? Look at me. I'm appropriate, right?
No.
There's nothing inappropriate.
Okay.
Nothing's
And
hanging
what-
out, jumping out. Everything's covered in its right place.
Is it though? Because then when we scan down, there's a whole nother thing happening. There's two worlds happening. It's
I feel like
saying
it's sexual harassment. I don't feel like why you
I'm
looking
just
at
saying.
me from the waist down.
What's wrong with that?
for her outfit.
You saw me stand up. It's not,
You talking today? I love you.
But she just came from work in a business office,
Administrative.
an administrative situation. But
It's
okay,
2018.
I don't know what that means.
tell them again.
But what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean in 2018?
I'm appropriate.
What I'm
You
saying
can
is
wear what you
sometimes no, because then that's another thing where people just say, "Oh, well, I'm just being me. I'm just doing me." Your me is
It's
not.
2018.
But
What
the-
does that mean?
But I
It
don't know what that
means
means.
like you don't have to wear pantyhose all the time.
Oh, business
you don't have
suit.
you don't have to wear business suit. I can show my tattoos. She can wear leggings.
But those
She
aren't
has no leggings
I
on
have on tights. They're
Tights,
dark colored
leggings.
tights.
But they're
Oh, I
not
thought they were
okay
leggings.
with thigh-high
with
boots.
thigh-high boots. But like I said, it's
I'm just
See,
This
saying
is me just
So
being.
it's like she's wearing a sweater
Saturday.
dress.
for
It's a
Saturday.
Saturday outfit.
A
because
sweater
of the thigh
dress.
high.
This
The
is a
thigh
Saturday
high,
outfit.
yes.
Oh, it's the
on a-
boots.
on a rainy, icy day with boots. And it
Eh.
was raining.
It's dressed down whenever there's inclement weather. It's automatically dressed down day. Automatically.
Where was it inclement?
Okay.
It's a non-regular.
sorry.
You can wear jeans.
Okay,
It
let's
was icy.
Wait a
It's
minute.
icy,
I gotta
it's a
stop.
dress down
Diamond, I
day.
gotta
Some
stop
people
you.
called out. Schools was
Yeah, I saw
closed.
that.
Facts.
Shut down.
No.
Facts, facts,
no,
facts.
No, I get what
If the
you're
local
saying.
government's closed,
No, I get that.
So wait a minute, then it becomes instantly dressed down day when the
Yeah.
government's
I got
closed?
here
Yeah.
with what I could get here with.
yeah. They're like, oh, what, you gonna send me home? No, we won't. No, we
So let me
won't.
let me just bring this up because this goes to my point about when church says come as you are.
Thanks.
And when people say
Perfect.
I'm gonna come as I am, this is all I got to wear. Okay, fine. If that's all you have.
Lord gonna turn you away?
Hold
No.
on, I gotta stop
Because
you.
of your outfit?
No, listen, hear me out. Hear me out when I say this.
No, he won't.
He says come as you are, but with to me what I would say appropriate clothes.
Yes.
Right?
But
so
that's
that
not
To that environment.
to that environment.
To that
that doesn't
environment.
mean you.
According to whose
so what I'm saying,
standards?
same
To
thing
the
for work.
environment.
For
Yeah.
work.
Say that. That's your interpretation.
No, you can.
I'm
look,
sorry.
You can look
Where's the
around
dress code
you.
in the Bible, please?
No, no, no,
Mackenzie,
we're not
I got a
talking
job
about
for
People
you.
just had on like a cloth. talk or something.
Here we go.
No,
Mackenzie,
we're not
Mackenzie,
talking
can you look
about-
up the dress code, please?
We're not talking about a dress code
The-
per se, because if it's a casual environment, you can look around and tell, okay, this is the standard that's
don't
here.
work I am worked up.
On certain days, you can wear a jersey. Like people come to church with
Yeah.
a jersey on and jeans, like because that ends
Because
up
they
being
said,
Because
because
my
they
church
said,
is casual. Yeah, they dress really.
I'm
and
just
then,
saying
like,
people
on
use that as
casual
excuse.
Friday,
Right.
Right, people come in jeans.
But casual can mean many things. You know, some people
right,
go
you take it too far. It
from
doesn't mean having pink on your butt
right.
in an
See?
office setting.
No, that's inappropriate, I think.
Oh, is it now?
That's different.
Because it's flashy things that's bringing attention. Like it's words on your behind. What do you do with words? You read them. So if I see
Diamond.
if I see pink,
Is it black though?
it's a
Look
dark
black to me,
it's
or
a dark
dark
green
brown?
and black. Yeah.
Alright.
It's a cute.
We're not
outfit.
saying the outfit. Hey,
It's just
I
it
said if
looks
she would have came to my
emphasized.
house on Saturday and said, "I'm ready to go," I'm like, "Okay, sis, okay." But when I seen her coming to work, I was like, "Okay, is this what we're doing?" I'm sorry, it's Wednesday. I get it's hump day, but I don't get it. But moving on.
Oh, dude.
Just saying. But I love her though, because you know what? This is what we say about 88. 88 is now transitioning
That's
into a new
era.
of her life, and so we're giving her this time to get,
Transition.
to transition from that 20
Something
to
wardrobe to a
30
30
something. 30.
and it's
I'm about
not,
to say,
it's,
whoa,
not
drop the
a,
something.
it's not a hard turn. That's what we're trying to get
No.
you to understand. It's not a hard
But
turn.
today she did a hard left, and I wanted her to
Y'all
exit
already
stage
made
left.
the turn.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we've
we've been made the turn a long time
that's
ago.
When y'all was making the turn,
We had guidance.
We did.
Trust
That's
me.
what we here for.
When 50 Cent first came out, when y'all made the turn,
Not 50 Cent.
what did y'all do?
No, we made the turn. I'm just saying that's what we here to guide her through
Yeah.
this. It's a transition. We get it.
Obama came off, whatever it was.
No, we had
Wait,
guidance. That's
what-
what I don't know what you're talking about. But what I'm saying is,
When
What
y'all
would-
made the 20 to 30 transition.
yes, that's what we're
Yeah.
saying. I had a
Y'all had
village.
y'all had some stuff y'all held on to.
Oh, it's no doubt.
Right. we're
Listen
not-
to
That's
what-
still in the
why I'm saying-
closet.
That's why I'm saying it's not a hard turn.
Right.
It's just how you put it together
Whoa, pause on the
and
flag
for
on
the
flag.
settings.
Right. That's all we're saying.
That's all we're
So I see
saying.
what you
You
said.
can still.
You agree that you think it's inappropriate.
Flag.
Who? Victoria?
on
Yes.
The flag.
Okay. What's the flag?
This one right here
Remind us.
be
You weren't there.
super inappropriate at work. A lot of times.
I'm sorry.
You've never
Well,
worn a
you
dress
did.
that I had to kind of pull down on the side, like.
And when you told me
if
that, I
you
was
bend
like,
over,
okay.
pick up a piece of paper, or sneeze, you won't put on a show for the whole
And I
office.
said, "Oh, you think this is too short?" And you said yes, and I never wore it again. Correct? Be honest.
I'll never wear the dress again
To work.
to work.
Okay. All right.
Next
moving
Saturday,
on.
I come to your house.
Man, I'm so glad.
I'm wearing it with no tights.
With your ass up.
with the tattoo showing.
I ain't mad at it. Okay,
we
so
said
anyway,
that.
Nana, I'm glad we come to. Oh, we gotta call. We gotta call it. Maybe your father.
If this is my father, I'm gonna need you to hang the phone up.
Hello,
This
caller.
is my
Welcome.
father. Hang up.
Thank you. My name is Fred Flintstone.
Hang the
I'm
phone
calling
up.
because I'm trying to figure out it's Black History Month and the topic that y'all chose to talk about, does that have anything to do with Black history or
Yeah, we
anything educating the young, blacks about their history and, and how to move forward from, yesterday till tomorrow?
Really?
I'll answer this question. It
I
actually
mean,
does. I'm glad you brought that up.
We know the dress code is all messed up because y'all done lost your mind as far as the dress code, And the Bible don't say come as you are, I mean, you come in a
Get him off the line, Mackenzie.
presentable way.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean,
Presentable.
if you have decent clothes that that's appropriate for church, then I think that should be more. I think that should be more the attire that you should wear, not fishnet stockings, 6-inch heels,
Ooh, who almost
and
So
so
you,
forth.
so you can't come straight from the club.
But nevertheless,
to worship.
as I said, my name
But
is
look,
Fred
but guess what?
Flintstone, and
But Papa
I
Pope,
tuned
that's-
in,
listen.
the radio,
Listen,
hoping that I
Pop.
would hear something about Black history, you know, after being told, you know, about y'all youngins.
I vote. Listen, that's why this is a Black History lesson, because folks need to know how to come to work. You gonna have no job. Your job will be history if you come to work with fishnets
You will be Black
and
history at your job.
and stilettos. Is what we saying.
And you will become Black history.
Exactly. Well, it depends on where you work, but I'm saying in the environment we talking about. So no, we appreciate you calling in, saying your daughter's wardrobe is inappropriate.
But you know what? But he actually brings up a good point
That's why
about as in the context.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna listen a little more. Maybe I can learn something.
Yes,
You know?
we appreciate that. But thank
We
you.
can end this call. Thank you for calling, Daddy. Don't call back.
Don't call back.
Don't do
call
that.
back.
Don't do that.
Don't call back.
Don't.
Stop it.
Well,
When the man,
if you don't want, okay. Well, I had my buddy
If this was
Barney
a woman,
Rubble.
you'd hit the button a long time ago.
it's your father.
Bye-bye.
It's an elder. So
I feel like I've been ganged up on all day. Forget it. I'm done.
you done for the day?
Take me out. I ain't interested.
I
No,
take you
but-
back in.
Nope.
You in.
I'm not in.
You in. Go ahead.
No, but I was just gonna say, in the context of Black history and like blackness and talking about just being, like he actually brings up a good point, because what he was saying is, from his perspective, right, as an elder, what does it mean? Like for him, just being like coming to church, doing whatever, there was a certain standard
Yeah.
that has historically been in place, right?
Right.
Particularly like if we're talking about church. Even my mom had the same thing. Like you wear your stockings, your hat, you have your hair done a certain way, like all that kind of stuff. So when you evolve, right? So part of it is what we're talking about. Like we've evolved. So we're in a space of what does it mean to just be, sort of like what Diamond was saying, it's 2018.
Right.
So we're just being. But then that
Right.
doesn't always jive with,
Right.
you know what I mean, other perspectives
right, 'cause
of
then
what
it's
it
like-
means to just be.
Well, and what
it
does
means
that mean to be
What does it mean
inappropriate?
to be-
Right.
Right.
And especially generational. But I mean,
And we always
I mean,
had a
I can-
standard as black people of like we always had to look better,
Right.
like put
And I can-
together, tight.
I
Yeah.
can
There was
agree
no-
with that, with my mother being who she is, who's also watching. That's not a cue to call, but she would always tell me that too. Like, I know when you go to church, a certain way that you're supposed to look. When you go on an interview, there's a certain way that you're
Right.
supposed to look. And if the generations before us don't trickle that down to the generations next, then they'll never know. Because I know plenty of friends who don't know how to dress when they go on interviews
Right.
that are like, how do you, what am I wearing? And I'm like, well, based off of the information that was given to me from grandmother, mother, or whomever, this is an appropriate suit. You can wear
Right.
this is how
Right.
you know, even with other things that may revolve around that, doing a resume. So those lessons and life lessons are necessary, and especially in the church, because again, you come as you are, but you're not supposed to stay that way. You come as you are, and you see your surroundings, and you're supposed to grow with the surroundings. So this portion can be somewhat of a Black History moment, because based off of the things that you guys know and you guys have seen and you guys have learned, you're trickling that down onto me saying, I get it, 20, but 30, I need you to step your game
Yep.
up to get where you want professionally, to get where you want, you know, in other areas of your own personal business and even within the work
Right.
office.
Absolutely.
There's a certain way you need to carry and conduct yourself. So
Right.
I will admit, the dress will not be worn again at work.
Your 20s are about to be Black History.
Damn.
You
But
ain't
I
gonna
mean-
say
but
it
you-
like that though.
I mean,
But it really is.
But
I
it
mean, it
is.
is a moment in time that you'll never, ever,
I'll never
ever
ever
get
say
back.
I'm 20 something.
It's over. It's over. You're 30. You'll be 30 in a few months. But no. But I was
feel
thinking
like y'all
about
take
the
great
whole
pride in
the
saying
whole
it.
state of being. Sometimes I wonder with, you know, with social media, that also makes you can't just be either, because that
Right.
all
Well-
also has set another standard
Yeah.
of what, you know, what it means to be. I'm sorry, it even sets the standard of what it means to be Black in America, what it means to be a woman in America, what it means to be a working person in America, what it means to be 20, what it means to be 30. Because even if you look, what it means to have a relationship. I mean, no one can just be, if you are just, even in a relationship, now the standard is this.
It's a
you know,
hashtag
it
goal
always
on
has to be a
everything.
hashtag goal of this. You know, I want hashtag friendship goal. I want my friends to look like this. I want my man to look like this. I want to have this kind of job. I want my car to be this. That's the standard now. There's no elder coming and tell you, because the elders they on social media, but not like that. They just looking at their grandkids' pictures. But the elders are not necessarily dictating what's happening in that culture anymore. Whereas I felt like for us, we were able to get, for us, maybe not Kristen because she's much younger than us, but we were able to get both sides. we were able to get the technology, we get the tech, and then we also got the high touch.
Right.
And so where they weren't able, between her and then people like my daughter's age, they weren't able to get all of theirs is high tech.
Yeah.
So it's a different level of what a standard is because that no longer exists.
Yeah.
That exchanging of the, let me show you how to do this. So, I mean, I can remember my grandmother telling me, like, okay, you need to wear, make sure you have black underwear, make sure you have, you know, you can't be wearing, butterfly underwear with a certain color. Like there were certain things. Your bra had to be right. I see some young girls out here, and I'm just like, there was a gap where nobody was telling them that this is not what we say is the standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now there's another standard of living and being due to social media.
Interesting. And I think it adds an extra layer of pressure because there's sort of to what you were saying, like back in the day, we couldn't see as much that was going on, right? Like if you were traveling and all that kind of stuff, that's one thing. But I just mean on a day-to-day basis, you weren't bombarded with images, right? So even when you talk about like, what does it mean to be black? That was a struggle for me back in the day to really figure out what it meant for me to just be, because I wasn't your typical, whatever the typical blackness was.
Right.
It took me a long time to be comfortable just being, you know, what the phrase now that, you know, the awkward black girl or whatever, like, because I was into stuff that, you know, a lot of black kids weren't necessarily into.
Right.
So if I were coming of age now, I would see so many more options. You know what I mean? So like there is a pro to that.
It is.
That you now
I would
can
agree with
see,
that.
You have access
You
to
were
seeing like,
limited.
oh, I'm out there. But like back in the day, it was really limiting for me to know that like it's actually okay for me to just be.
Yeah.
Right? To not be into like all the high fashion whatever, to like the music that I listen to be the nerdy girl sitting at home reading, you know, whatever. Like it was but that wasn't, I didn't necessarily have those
Those
visions, you know,
images.
those images.
Yeah, because I guess if you think about it, and we talk about that all the time, where now it's you, those things get more exposure to the idea of being different and what does that really mean, where it's more celebrated. And I'm not saying it's always, because you're gonna have people who scroll and troll and tell people they ain't nothing, you ugly, you this that and the other. You always gonna have that, but I do see more, because even like that whole the phenomenon I was saying where people announce what school they're going to, and so that was always in the sports world where you saw that. And now because of social media, now because kids are
People
going
are
for
celebrating
academics, people are getting excited about that. So you're right, it does give you an option to, now you get to see different.
You can find your tribe.
You can.
A lot quicker.
And just get into a Facebook group, a closed Facebook group, and be okay with that.
And be okay with that.
Because the thing now is embracing daring to be different.
Yeah.
It's not as much of a culture shock, but I know even like for me, because of the type of environment that I work in, it is a line that I push very well. Like I will, but I try to always make sure it's just a smidge back on the professional side, just a little teeny bit.
You go back and forth from professional to,
like it's levels. So
Okay.
like for example, when I had the phase of the purple hair, but the purple hair was all the way down the back, but it was like, is that really? But then when I cut it short and did it and made sure my makeup was done, the outfit was appropriate, then it was like, okay, it's different. I can appreciate it, but it's still tastefully done. I guess that's the word. Not necessarily professional, but tastefully done. But then it's according to what standards is that the case nowadays.
Yeah.
Like we're not in a generation now where we dress up in, like you said, suits or things like that. So it's completely different. I remember even growing up, something like if you wore a certain kind of dress and you had a thong underneath, oh God, no, not a thong. That is so, this is the image. But it's like, no, if I have on a dress, like you said, that could possibly, show my panty line. If I put on a thong because I have on a church suit or dress or whatever, it's not inappropriate. It's not looked at as a bad thing. But back in the day, grandma would have.
Right, but the problem is, you know what it is? You know why?
That there was a
you know why grandma got upset? Because you needed a belt on. Like, why your pants? When I see women, you have no belt on and you got a thong on and you bend over and I can see that's why. That's why grandma was mad. Nobody need to know you have a thong on. That's the other thing. Nobody really needs to know your business, but because you don't have a belt on, for some reason people don't have belts. I don't know what that's about.
Because you want the smooth front.
Right.
And sometimes
Is that why you don't wear the belt?
Yeah, because
But then it should be
you have a
fitted in the
belt
waist.
buckle.
You could get it taken in. You can.
No, but I'm saying the belt buckle sometimes
Oh, okay.
ends up sort of, you know,
But don't you
you
think
send us
it's
a quick stitch on the size of your skirt to kind of keep it up, so you don't have to worry about the belt.
But what if you can't sew?
Then there's that.
Then you gotta have
I'm
a
just
belt.
saying.
See,
like,
that was the one that wasn't passed
Wait,
down
no.
to the generation.
It was-
I told
no,
you how to do
because-
a quick stitch.
See, that's a good thing. But
Look,
somebody, you know,
So
somebody.
someone says, so true. Most of us do what we are taught and replicate what we see in our environment. And she said
Yeah,
she loves
that's
the
true.
lesson that you're learning.
Thank
Aw.
you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Someone actually said,
Never too
asked,
late
did
to
they
grow.
still wear slips?
I do.
Do you?
You saw I had
You
on
had on one
something the other
today?
day? I'm done.
I'm sorry.
Forget it. I don't even want to be a part of the podcast. Turn my live off. You can cut my
Just
mic, please.
kidding. She know I love her. She like the little.
But
I
things
had on a
never
slip the
had
other day, and you was
or
like,
never wanted.
"Oh, okay."
Oh, did
Remember
you?
we had this whole conversation
Oh,
about
okay.
my slip?
I was wondering because it's like a lost. People don't wear them anymore. I
Because
didn't
you
think
know
people
why?
wore
People were
'em.
like, but why? 'Cause
Right,
that was
they were
literally
saying,
me
but
back
why?
in the day.
I hated
Why?
slips.
Why?
See, you
Wear
had
a
one up
slip
on me.
and
I
you start
didn't even
wearing
know
slips.
I had a slip on it. Y'all
Like,
let me
And I didn't give your
you
props.
didn't get my
did I?
kudos. Like,
Good,
job.
slip on. No, but I
Same
mean,
thing with
even things
stockings,
like
but
that.
why
I had on
you
my
have to wear
shaper
stockings?
underneath. I was sucked in.
No, I do
slip
remember you had
on.
this. I didn't know it was slip though. I knew you had the shape on. Okay, sorry. I'm just saying. But again, it goes. I think it does go back to what you are taught, and I think some of the things that we taught. Now, some lessons we could leave behind
Yeah.
because there were some things that just shouldn't be passed on.
Do share.
Well, I mean, this whole thing about what it means to be a woman, and I think that sometimes it was, especially by me, because I grew up in a cross-generational house where it was my mother and my grandmother, and of course my grandfather, but it was certain things, it was just like you didn't do certain things. Like, so, you know, my grandfather was a man of the house, and there was certain levels of respect there, which of course he's my grandfather, but there was certain, you know, I didn't hear my grandmother say certain things to my grandfather. You know, everything was like, it wasn't like you don't disrespect, or you don't say, or you don't talk about things in the house, or, you know, it's our business. And so I think sometimes we pass things on that really are sometimes to our detriment, where we don't talk through things that go on in the family. Like, you know, everything's like hush hush. And what does it mean? Like, I never forget one time I said to my grandmother, I was like, you know, my mom, I don't want to be married because I don't want to be with the same man every night. She was like, whoa, whoa. And I didn't mean it like I want to be out, because what she thought was I want to be out here sleeping with
In these
everybody.
streets.
Right. And I'm saying, no, I'm just saying the idea of that, it just, at that age, I was probably like about 14 or 15 years old, and it just didn't dawn on me what that meant. Like, some people say they want to be married and they want to be a mother and all. For me, that was the furthest thing from my mind. And so when I shared that with her, I'm thinking we're having a moment, and she's like, whoa, wait a minute. So now you want to be
brought
out
out
here?
the
Like,
holy
nobody
water.
was, right? Nobody was even saying
What
out in
is
these
it?
streets, but that's really what she meant.
Yeah,
Like, you gonna be
like
out
out
here
in the
just
streets.
sleeping
Right.
with people? And I was like, no, I'm just saying, like, I just, in my mind, I didn't envision me being married and having kids.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, sometimes you get shut down as a woman, as a young woman, and then you carry those things on to say that I can't have this kind of opinion, or I can't feel this way, or I can't not want this because my grandmother said or my mother said. So we
Yeah,
kind
a
of,
woman is supposed to get married, find her a good man,
right,
get
good
married,
man working.
settle
Well,
down,
no.
go on here, have some kids,
Right.
stay home and feed that man and clean that
Yeah.
house and raise
I was gonna
those
say
kids.
cleaning, man. I'm like,
We're not cleaning that man.
But I think that we hear that young, but it still is today that
Yeah.
like when you're, you know, people sort of look at, particularly if you're in your 40s, you know, mid 30s or 40s, and it's like if you're just focusing on your career or just
Oh, yeah.
living your life,
just
you
being.
know, just being, right? Just enjoying either being single or just dating, right?
Right.
Just doing, just having a good
No,
time.
it's unacceptable.
Then, right. Then
It's
it's like,
like,
why do
wait
I
a
have
minute.
to, right? There's this added thing, but why aren't you
Right.
with someone? Why aren't you, right?
Right.
And it's sort of like, but why? Why do I have to be? Why can't I just
Because
go, why can't I
society
travel by myself?
Right.
has given us this image that happiness doesn't exist
By
single.
yourself.
Yeah.
That is
Like, you
true.
can't be happy alone. You have to
And
have
the assumption
somebody
is that you're
that
gonna be
has to be a
lonely.
partner, right? And you have
Yeah.
no, and that's the furthest from the truth, because I know plenty of people who are single who live amazing lives and have really good friends and have really good, you know, families, and you know, they are focused on their career and doing great things, and that's just not their focus. And not saying that they don't enjoy companionship when it comes, but it's not something that they're like, I have to have somebody, like I have to be next to somebody every night.
Right.
Because
No.
when you get used to being with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
then you can enjoy being by yourself.
Right. That's a word right there. But some people don't even like, that's the problem. They don't like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you do need somebody to fill up the time, unfortunately.
Right. Right. You're to distract you from you.
I don't want to be me. That's what
Without
they're saying.
right.
To distract you from you. Right. Which is to your point of like when we don't deal with those old issues and
Right.
stuff because we were so used to not talking about things. It's
Mhm.
like part of being is actually just like getting to know yourself, being whole, which might mean going to therapy,
Mhm.
which
Hello.
might mean talking to somebody, which might
Yes.
mean working through those things so that you can just be and not feel like. So then if you decide, you know what, I do want to, wear makeup every day, or I
Right.
do want to do whatever, you can do it knowing that it's coming from in your
Right.
insides and not like, oh, because social media is saying I need to look this way and I gotta
Right.
have this kind of butt and I gotta have this way. Because remember we were all on the whole trying to get the flat stomach and we were all on Instagram following all those.
Are we still
And
not
I
trying to
would-
get a flat stomach?
No, just the
Oh,
one stomach.
The one
but
stomach,
necessarily
not the flat stomach. You're right.
Because
we
we
didn't want the abs.
Because I was like, but
Yeah,
why?
the six pack isn't necessary.
It's like, but why? Like,
Yeah.
why am I trying? Like, literally, why
Yeah,
am I
we
trying
did go
this?
through
Like,
that because
remember
that was a struggle. Because every time we would send each other something, we like, girl, look at this
look at
stomach.
this, what you're right.
Look at this, look at this,
Look at
and
her
be like,
body,
why
look at
can't,
her.
why can't I? I just want to be. But then remember, like I said, I had that conversation with y'all last week, and I was saying, I decided after spin class that I said I want fitness to be a part of my life, but it's not going to be my life.
Right, and during that time, it was becoming our life.
It was.
We were obsessed.
Every 5
with, like,
seconds, it was about the flat
right,
stomach.
Right, it was about the flat stomach. It was like the trainer, about what program, what thing, whatever.
And that's fine if you want that, but then you have to figure out
but
like
why
one,
do you want it?
It's the but why, right?
it is the
Why?
but why, but then also sometimes you have the investment in it. You can't sometimes you can't just be. That's a whole like I see people in the
It's a
gym.
lifestyle.
When I go in, I want to go to cycle class and leave. I don't. My state of being, it can't be. Now I got to go to the weights. And there's nothing wrong with that because I know this is some people's lives. But I'm not here for that. I'm not here
45
now.
minutes.
I'm in here eating a banana because now I got to go do this. No, I want to go to spin class and then I want to go get my nails done.
Oh,
That's my life. To me, that's a state of being.
It is. No, that's a good day.
I'm just saying.
That's a good
But
day.
you know what I was gonna say is that something when you were saying about therapy, I feel like some people need to be one with the therapist.
Well, we'll say it again.
Needs to
Some
be
people
one
need to
with-
be one with the therapist. You need therapy. Come together with the therapist.
Oh, yes.
Like that's a. I mean,
Yes.
let's talk. I mean, I feel like no, seriously, that's
Absolutely. Go ahead.
no. I'm just saying. Like I think there
You
is
already know I get worked up on this topic. I
no
know.
because people have. I was actually talking to my girlfriend and we were talking about just also in this with this topic, just the state of being, and sometimes the reason why people are not being is because they need therapy and
See,
not
dealing
even in
with.
reality,
Pause
they're
for a
not even
second.
here.
People missed this in Mary's London sessions when she had that song Therapy. And everybody was like, oh, that CD wasn't good. We ended up,
But she was like, right, she was in the midst of it.
she was telling you.
And just the mental illness that we deal with as women and as black
Mental
women.
wellness.
Yes,
Just-
but I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
people are dealing with
It's like serious.
serious
Yeah.
mental illness,
Yeah.
depression, and all of the above. But because we are so busy, go, do, we got to do this, or we should be doing this, and we should be doing that. We don't even take care of ourselves in that way.
Because it's the responsibility and obligation to everyone else that we completely neglect ourselves.
Yes, and that's not a good Black History fact.
It's not. And
Like that
that's
should
what I'm
go
gonna say.
down. But no,
I'm going to give, even though Krishna and has been throwing shade at me the entire day.
not the whole day. Didn't you see when I gave you a hug and say, girl, you like the sister I never had and never wanted?
Yeah, as you stabbed me with the knife behind my back. Yeah, I got that memo.
She gonna
Anywho,
give you a stab
Right,
in your
like-
neck. Look like on Scandal when you put the needle in the neck.
but I got the blood though. And I'm done. You see me, this me holding the blood. This me holding the blood in.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. No, but that is the one thing I will credit my village for helping me with. Now I know I gave y'all a lot of pushback on that a lot of times about I'm not ready to do the work. I'm not interested in doing the work. But I will admit that I've come so far since I was going to therapy, doing this once a week, twice a week, or whatever the case may have called for. The sense or the obligation that I felt to other people to do for them, to please them, to take care of them, to, you know, that I was completely taken away from myself. I'll be completely transparent. I had anxiety attacks where I was you would find me against a wall in fetal position, crying, couldn't breathe, needing somebody to calm me down. I was having night terrors where I was, I was up, or at least I thought I was up, couldn't move, feeling paralyzed and things like that. So it was necessary, and I had to realize why. It was my sense of wanting to please everybody and making everybody happy, and I can't have somebody dislike me. Why do you dislike me type situations that I didn't realize how much I was taking from myself until I actually sat in a therapy session with a therapist and ran down the things that I do. And she was like, you're stressed. You're overwhelmed. And that's fine. I'm like, but according to my parents' standards or my husband's standards and my friends' standards, I'm not busy. I have plenty of time. That's all I have is to sit and do and take care of other people. And for someone to actually say, that's fine, but what are you doing for yourself?
Right.
If you want to exercise, make that mandatory. If you need a day of rest, make that mandatory. If you need somebody to talk to, make that mandatory. If it's okay to cry. You can't handle everything on your own. But because we grow up in these atmosphere where my upbringing was full of women. My mother family is majority women. My father's side of the family closest to the women there. So I've seen them be strong. So I've seen them taking care of single families. I've seen them working. I've seen them become doctors and nurses or whatever the case is. So that was the standard for me. Like, what do you mean I'm not supposed to grind hard and hustle and do all these things for everybody else? Like, I don't have time for me. That's crazy. So to actually have somebody sit down and say, no, it's okay, was major, because God only knows if I was dealing with that at 21, 2, 3, and 4, where I would be going transitioning into 30. I would have had a nervous breakdown and been in somebody's hospital by this point.
Right.
And never knew why, because it was the norm.
Right.
So it's definitely important.
No, it's true. It is. And for you to be, I think, to be your age, that is powerful to get that lesson now, opposed to being 40, 50, and over, and never have dealt with whatever those, then all of those things you were dealing with, especially with someone who can actually help you through it. I mean, talking to your village and all that is great, but after they say enough, you right, girl, yeah, then something. I mean, I need a little bit more than that, to get me right. And sometimes it might be meds or whatever. You just don't know. But I think seeking therapy is not. I'm not saying it's for everybody. But I'm saying for some of us who are maybe afraid, ashamed, or whatever, I think take the step. All you can do, I mean, the first person may not work out, second person may not work out, but it may be that third person, or maybe the first person work out. You just have to try and see if it's for you.
And it's not easy. I think a lot of people go into therapy thinking it's a quick fix and that you're supposed to leave out of therapy feeling, oh, that was wonderful, I got it off my chest, I feel better.
Broke down.
No, there was plenty of sessions I'm like, I don't know if I can do today. I need to go take a
And let me tell you something.
It was exhausting.
And I was doing it right. Doing in the middle of work day. Like coming back like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to come back today. I was like, what's going on?
I've done it
None of your
before.
business.
I've done it before too.
I need to leave.
And that's how you know it's working.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you leave a session drained,
Right.
then that means you're getting it out.
Right.
You
It
know
was
what I
like
mean? It's
exercise.
work.
Like, what do you mean I'm exhausted?
Yeah, like your brain is just it's on. But I think that for anybody who is thinking of it I would say try it and see if it's for you. It may or may not, but just see if this is something, because you do have to find and search within yourself first. I don't think everybody needs to run out to have therapy, but I do think that you can just check in, because even though I'm not actually in therapy as we speak, but a check-in is good as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, and I hear what you're saying when you say that it's not for everybody in that, but I sort of think it can be.
If they're open to it.
Right, that's what I was getting ready to say. It can be for everyone. You just have to go in with an open mind. Like if you go in feeling like this is not for me, this is not going to work, or whatever, then it's not, because you're not. Because it's all about changing your mindset.
Yeah.
Right? So what would be the point of talking to anybody, really, if you're not open to getting a different perspective? Because that's really what therapy is for. It's not about somebody now telling you what to do. It's helping you to get insight, like you were saying, into what you're actually doing.
Right.
Right? Having somebody put a mirror up and saying, this is why you're experiencing life this way.
Right.
And then saying, okay, what changes can we make? How do you want this to look? How can things be different?
Yeah.
Because in a perfect world, you want people to get to that point before they hit rock bottom. But it literally took for me to hit rock bottom. Like the whole not being able to get out of your bed, and the anxiety attacks would occur anywhere, and I would feel them coming on. So I knew I needed to stop. Like I had no choice. It was mentally, I knew I'm losing myself. So if I don't get this checked on, I don't get this worked on, I don't know what tomorrow might look like. Or if that anxiety attack happens behind the wheel, or what, you know, what does that then mean? Like, I knew I was at more harm to myself by not looking into it. So I would encourage anybody, young or older or whatever the case is that if you feel like things can be overwhelming or you just need an unbiased ear, like, it's definitely important.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the amount of young people who are hurting, I mean, and you're right, Victoria, I think you're
Suicide
right.
rates
Like,
have
you
gone up
do think
tremendously.
when you see the amount of hurt because of whether it be social media, bullying, and all of that kind of stuff, you know, a lot of times, and we can't keep transferring silence to our kids and silence within our family. We have to be open and say, you know what are my kids dealing with? What are these kids dealing with out here? Because they're dealing with a lot. Way more than what we experience. Like, you couldn't pay me to be a teenager this day and age. Like, I mean, literally, like, I don't even want $1 million to be a teenager. I mean, maybe, but maybe not.
Nah.
I'm just saying, it's a lot to come with it, with $1 million. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a trade-off.
it's the whole, it's
a trade-off.
The level of angst I see these kids dealing with and trying to keep up and doing this and doing, you know, it's just way too much. So, again,
And even with the bullying, like, you,
oh my
if
gosh,
you have a
that's
bully
on
in
a
school,
whole
it's
nother
like
level.
you may have been teased throughout the school day, but then the teasing goes on home and then social media. And next thing you
Yeah.
know, it's a whole video of it,
Right.
and the video
It's
has
just
gone
gone too
viral.
far.
And
It's too
just
much.
too much. It's too
People
much
are now-
pressure.
Yeah. I
mean,
Exactly.
yes.
But then also that goes into the family generation, because I feel so sorry. I feel like more than ever I've been seeing, and it could be just because it's the social media aspect of teens and young children, like middle school age, killing themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like it's a lot of it has
They
to do
can't
with,
just be.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just my opinion, because a lot of those young people grow up in those families who have those, we don't talk about certain things. No, stay in a child's place. You can't come to me openly and express yourself in whatever kind of way. But if I had to come home and say, no, this is what is happening and I can't be politically correct or respectful about it, I just need you to hear me because I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
No.
But and the thing about it is, I think as a parent, one of the things, you know, you don't want to think that anything is wrong, that your kid is dealing with anything, or you know that they're trying to overcome. Because as a parent, you constantly you thinking, I'm checking in. Oh, I seen you today, right? I said this. I did my little checklist of things. But are you looking at their social media? Are you invested in what they're doing on a day to day? Because I know my daughter. I mean, she's 20 now. But when Facebook and all that stuff was like really, I specifically said, don't get a Facebook page. And next, you know, I'm on Facebook and I see her name. I'm like, now I know it ain't another one. That very well could be, but is this your Facebook? You know, so we were going. So it was this battle of her wanting to be engaged in that way with her friends.
Did you
and
monitor it?
I shut it down.
Ooh.
So then it
So
became.
now she was under Keisha. Baby.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you knew they was gonna get it. So every time I was like, no. But then I realized, okay, this is the generation we in. So you gotta, you know, you want you want them to feel like they're a part of whatever's happening, because you can't seclude them but so much.
Right.
Like you can't, you know, keep them away from all of it. I mean, you can do it to a certain degree, but they're going to find a
Of
way.
understanding, finding that
Right.
balance.
I had to find a
You're in
balance.
school, all your friends have the Facebook page. That's how everybody's communicating afterwards.
Right.
You don't
Exactly.
want your kids running the street around, you know,
No.
the day and age, so I get it. So yeah, it's like, okay, well, I'm your friend.
Right,
And
but
I'm
see,
one
the
of the
back-
administrators on your page, so I can go in and look
But
at
the-
whatever I want.
Exactly. And then sometimes the balance is whether, you know, my friends all got smartphones, but I got a flip phone. And it's like, okay, mom. Like,
I'm gonna need y'all to give your parents the number to call in if you still have a flip phone, because that should be child abuse.
see what I'm saying? How's it child abuse? What I'm saying
It's
is,
emotional.
that's the parent is trying.
Let you be in a full. First of all,
emotional
let me be a
abuse.
grown woman come to work talking about, girl, I gotta make this phone call real quick. Y'all gonna clown me. So imagine being in high school like,
I
girl,
get
yeah,
it.
let me. No,
I know. Listen, Chris, I'm not saying. I'm
First
not.
of all, you can't FaceTime.
Hold
with
on.
it. Does it have a camera? You would be the main one.
Listen, give me a second. I wasn't saying
Child abuse.
that you gotta give them a flip phone. I said it's the equivalent when parents thinking that I'm gonna let my kid have this.
Yeah.
And the comparison is giving your kid, instead of giving a smartphone, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to let you have just a little bit. And what
Yeah.
I'm saying is they're going to take more than an inch.
Yeah.
Because you saying
That's almost
that's
worse.
setting them up.
Yeah, that's worse.
So what I'm saying is if
I
you're
heard
going
that
to
before.
buy into it, you're going to have to buy in. And But then that means because what I think sometimes, and parents tell me if I'm wrong, the reason why you don't put your kids on punishment is because that means you're on punishment. Is that right? Because when you tell your kid, when you shut something down and you say you can't do this and that means that I got to monitor every social media you on. I got to do this. That I can't live my best life because you out here. I got to monitor whether you living your best life.
I wanted you to grab some milk on the way home, but I couldn't call you because I had to take your phone because you ain't know how
That's
to
what I'm
act
saying.
in
That's what I'm
school.
saying. So it becomes a whole production. So all I'm saying is
That's funny.
you got the buy-in to the system because it is a system.
It's a system.
To buy in, you gotta then give them what's comparable, give them what everybody's getting, but then you have to be fully engaged as a parent. And I think that's where we fall short because we're thinking, oh, they all right,
Yeah.
they're getting good grades,
Yeah.
they're doing this, and meanwhile, these kids are hurting on the inside.
Yeah.
These kids are dealing with this. You know, they might have already had sex. They might have it's all of these things going on that they're dealing with day to day. And I'm like, and I'm saying we dealt with all that stuff, and we ain't had no cell phone.
That's right.
We had a beeper, and then you can try to put in.
I didn't have a beeper.
You ain't have a beeper? Oh, I had a beeper.
Cord.
Oh, the phone.
Yeah, I
that
didn't
was-
have a beeper, so it was,
See,
the line was busy. The line was busy. I catch
Right,
you
what's
tomorrow.
that? Bump.
I catch you
Never heard of
tomorrow.
it. But yeah, so anyway,
But I wanted to go back to the point that you're making about the suicide because I feel like in this day and age, because of everything that you just described, even if you have a home where you can go to and talk about these things, it seems like the pressure is still so great to keep up and be a part of. And if you are on social media and you're getting it bullying from one person, but now you see all these hundreds and thousands of people who've now seen this and now they're commenting on it, and you're sitting in your room fretting. You, as a child, you
Yeah.
still may not want to go and talk to your parent about it
Right.
because what are they going to do when you know that tomorrow is going to continue?
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're
And
right.
I just think that
True.
because you haven't developed that sense of strength and inner being to be able to handle, even if your
Yeah.
mom is saying, you know what, or dad is saying, it's okay, whatever,
Right.
I still know I got to go back into that
Right.
space.
No, you're right.
with
Yeah.
all these
Because
people,
even
and I
with
can't
you're
take
right
it
with
anymore.
all that, even with all the strength and the support of the backing
It
of
can
a
be
great
too
home, it
much.
still can be overwhelming and too much. I mean, if you, I hate that, but I was thinking about when we had the brunch and I was saying how I used to write down on my calendar
What you used
what
to
I
wear,
wore. What I wore. Karima knows she did it too. Don't fake like you didn't.
You ain't have to call her out like that.
Come on now, she know. We wrote, and all of us wrote on the calendar what we wore, and because the pressure was if I wore this outfit that week, then I can't wear it again in that week, so I got to keep up and monitor what I wore. And I'm saying that was the extent of that was the pressure, like to have the right outfit, to have the right,
The
now,
only people that were going to see that were the people in your school.
right, and
Not
then,
1,000
exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was the extent of the pressure
Yeah.
within the confines of your
Yeah.
middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Elementary or something, but middle school and high school,
Yeah.
it was that was the pressure. All those people talking, those people whispering at the skating rink,
Right.
those people saying, But now when something, the idea of something like that, me wearing the same outfit was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I would have. But now, if you ain't got bundles in your hair, if you ain't got the Gucci belt, now we had to select group of
You gotta let
girls.
the name show.
You gotta let the name
Gotta
show.
let the name show.
We had select girls in our high school who were like the fashionista. I mean, but fashionista on like name brand fashionista. Because then you had the other level of
You went to public
fashionista. Yeah, I went to public school.
Oh.
Then you had the other level of fashionista would just dress nice, but not necessarily always, with designer. But that was, and so even that level of being in the groups of the nerdy kids and the jocks and all that, those are pressure. But then for something to go viral,
Exactly.
Ooh, see, I didn't even think about it from the perspective of even the parent.
What do you mean?
The level of pressure that a parent must
To
feel.
keep
I'm
your kid
thinking,
in the ladies?
if I have a teenage girl and she is, because those are the standards, like you said, it's like the flip phone. I can't send you to school with Milky Way. I can't.
what you mean?
Like the hair from the store behind the counter.
Oh, that's
I
Milky
can't-
Way?
I was like, the candy
I'm like the candy bar. I love
bar?
Milky Way.
I can't send you with that.
Oh, right.
When you got Brazilian,
Exactly.
whatever coming
And
down,
it's
and
next
then,
level.
Then you have to keep up with that standard in the clothes, and
God.
meanwhile I'm
Yeah.
barely living, paying rent, but I gotta make sure you're not in
No.
school being teased
No.
and bullied by
So
people
where,
because-
so that's the thing. How do you manage
Oh,
that?
Lord.
And that's what I'm saying. So if just think about that. So if a mother, as a woman, cannot be, what do you think the level of her daughter being? So I'm saying, and if you have the type of what, and
Stress
it,
me out. That whole
And
scenario stressed me
I
out.
never
should.
even thought about it from that perspective until just now.
yes,
Like,
it should.
that's crazy.
Because I just heard on the way in, I just heard there was a special on bundles, and it was like $250 for 3 bundles or something.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got, and they were like, oh, if you know this is a good brand, and I was like, so if you gotta spend, and I don't know how often you have to change,
It don't even matter.
but I'm like,
It's $300. Like
how
it's
are you
$300.
spending? How are you spending that kind of money?
I know.
On hair.
When you don't
On
have
hair.
a job,
And you have no job.
Yeah. But this is the level of being that we're saying that these kids can't even be, because social media is just I think just being 2018 alone
But
takes
it's
it to the next.
It's a certain way the hair behind the counter don't quite lay.
You know
and
what?
it come up a little bit, so you gotta keep your big
You
brush
can't have it be
and
like this
brush
in the
it
back.
down, and you people
too much
know-
pressure.
It is. It's pressure. Because if I saw it, I would be like,
Now, what I will say is
Let's
I
just
have
go
seen a surge
your
of
natural
young
look.
girls really embracing their natural look.
I love it.
Which I think that's great too. And I think that we have to leave room for everybody. Like, I don't say just because you're natural that means you're any whatever
Yeah.
better than someone who want to wear bundles. I think that's, we can't get into that because, that's a whole nother thing when people get to talk about who you black because you this, that, and the other. You ain't black enough, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Sorry.
But,
no.
but I mean,
But I had a perm in the back of the day.
yeah, then we all did,
And we said no, thank you.
What, the perm said no?
We said,
Your edges said no.
My, wasn't
Yeah, my-
edges,
yeah, yeah.
definitely. My whole scalp said
Your whole
no.
scalp said no? I mean,
My
hey.
whole scalp was like, we're done.
But that's what I'm saying, like this whole level of, somebody, I understand the whole implications of with it, getting a perm and all that. But people sometimes then go too far where you don't let people just be, if they want bundles, let them get
Right,
bundles.
right.
If they want a perm, let them get a perm.
Exactly.
Because I was that one when I went natural. I was real like, as long as I ain't gonna never put no da-da-da-da-da in my head when I went natural. Because it was, for me,
So
when
you were the person that went.
but you
I
were
went-
the one that was judging the
No, listen.
non-naturals.
no, listen what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When
So
I
that's
went,
the person.
Yeah.
Okay.
when I first went natural, because for me it was a big transition in my whole entire life. It wasn't
Yeah.
just about the going natural.
Usually it is.
It was a breakup. It was me moving on. I was in church. I was doing like on my mind. I was just changing all together. So I cut my hair off. It's like I just wanted to cleanse, and so to speak.
Yeah.
So then I went through this whole phase of now it was like being natural was almost like a status. Like I say when people say I'm vegan or I'm this, I'm that, And so it was you look down upon somebody
Yeah.
who still got a perm.
Yeah.
Or why you still got a perm? Don't you know
Yeah.
the white man? I wasn't saying that, but that's how people go. The
Oh,
white
yeah,
man
yeah.
got you in bondage
Yeah.
because you da da da.
That's right.
But meanwhile you
With
still
your
eating
creepy
this.
crack.
You still like I know. So this like. And I said, and I had to admit that I was one of those people. And then when I realized what hair meant to me, that was my level of being of hair was I don't care that much about it in terms of what I do with it. I love to change my hair. So for someone who loves to change their hair, I can't really say to somebody, girl, you can't get,
Yeah,
girl,
you
you
shouldn't
get this,
be.
you shouldn't be doing this. Who
That's
am I
goes
to
back
say?
to what you were saying about what we should be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So then when I had locks in my hair, I cut the locks off, got a perm, cut the perm out. I've done everything. I've done all the things.
Yeah.
Got a weave. I've done braid, everything. And so I'm like, I just don't think that, I don't like when that person that I was thinking, look, I may not went to somebody's face and girl, I can't believe you still wearing a perm. Not like that. But just in my attitude
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
them having a perm.
Yeah.
And the same thing with women wearing weaves. Somebody wearing blonde hair. Like I saw somebody post about that. Wow, black women wearing blonde hair. I'm sorry. Who are we to say what level of blackness someone is because they got a weave, blonde hair,
Right.
locks, or whatever? Does that?
But that's what I was saying too about like once you're solid
Yeah.
in who you are and why you're making choices, you don't have. Then you really are saying like, but why? Like, why do I have to be concerned? 'Cause
Right.
I know when I first went natural, a lot of folks. This was back in the '90s, and it wasn't really a thing. But a lot of folks were afraid of, well, I'm gonna look ugly, right? Because we're used to like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the old images. Of natural hair,
Right.
and not knowing what to do with it, and just being kinky and all this other kind of stuff. But it's like, again, but why do I need to put this chemical on my scalp? You know what I mean? Where I can't scratch. I gotta do. Why do I have to do all of that? It's still about the but why. And so once you sort of get clear, like you're saying, on like, okay, this is how I need my hair to be. This is how I need my diet to be. Whatever. Like once you get clear with yourself, then
it doesn't matter.
It
what
doesn't
people
really
saying.
matter anymore.
Right. And then when somebody does go from, because I would see posts too, where people go from natural and getting a perm. It's a big like, oh my goodness, I can't believe
betrayal.
Right,
Betrayal to the
right. I
people,
cannot
right.
believe you're going back to a
Betrayal.
perm and da, da, da.
Into yourself.
Right. And I'm like, I'm getting a perm because I want my hair to be short and cute. That's why.
Because you want
I want a
cut.
particular style, and it wasn't natural, short and natural, and that was it. And then once I was over that, I let the perm grow out and do whatever. So it's just like, I think that we even this standard sometimes. I think what we push out to other people is really a reflection of who we
Absolutely.
are and what
Absolutely.
we're putting that on ourselves. But really, like I'm telling you, you ain't that. But really, this is how I feel about me. Like
It's called a projection.
there you go. I'm just
Especially
saying.
when it comes to the older
Projection, it's a
generation
defense
and like
mechanism.
locks
Right.
and stuff like that. That's not professional. They don't.
Oh,
look
yeah, that's the whole
clean.
thing.
You're not gonna get a job with them. And it was like, no, because in your mind, you have been brainwashed to believe I have to look like Becky in order to get a decent position and to be taken seriously.
Well, my mom thought that when I went natural, because I cut all my hair off.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, "See, we know you're gonna let it grow out. We're gonna get the perm back. You're gonna what?"
So
and I was
so
like,
what you about to do with
doing
it?
about this?
No, this is
No, this is the look.
This is it.
I'm
But
so
then
happy.
what?
My mother looks at my hair now and just goes, "Kristen."
But
Now
you're
she
another
loves
person
it.
changing hands.
Yeah, now
She
she
just-
loves it. But yeah,
And then-
that initial transition was, and I was like, but like literally, this is how I was born. Like I
Right.
was born.
So what you saying? You ain't like me as a baby?
Like, I literally had an
I
afro.
thought you were cute, but I
Right.
gave you in hats and head.
Right. Like I wished it was straight. Is really what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you was cute, but you was bald in the back. Like, dang, mom, thanks.
So it's a transition.
No,
it's
it
a
is.
mindset.
But so in keeping with our topic of being and also all things happening in the world and all of that, where I mean, must admit I have been very, very judgmental of people I've seen on social media, and just pop culture, just certain topics that I've been seeing, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm sorry, what did I just see?
See? But why?
But why? And I mean, we do. I mean, I feel like this is what social media is for. I think Diamond, you said that before. This is what we do. We scroll. I go when I see a post. The first thing I go to is I gotta go to the comment section. I got to see what the people saying, because when I see what the people saying, that right there alone just takes me on over the edge.
But
And so
This is the true definition of they said.
they saying this is what they saying. You said, what am I judging?
What are you
on?
judging?
Okay, so let me give you what's in the news today as we transition to pop culture and all things in the world. So I know everybody saw this whole thing with the Kardashians, and I'm already like with the Kardashians, like I'm just not really here for them. And back in the day, I used to watch the show, but that was then, and now I'm just like I'm over the whole family. Just everything.
Even the baby?
I mean, I don't have nothing against the baby.
I'm about to say.
I ain't got nothing against Chicago. I don't. What I'm saying is
Not
it's the-
Chicago. What's the other
No,
one?
not Chicago. That's old news.
Oh right. Oh, the new one, Stormy.
Whoa.
That's the baby's name, Stormy Scott. So, see, I'm all up. Look, I'm all up in it. That's because I be scrolling.
You all in it. You're like,
I be in it, but that's what I do because I feel like that's what I need to do in order to
It was a
bring
stormy
forth
day in North
the
Chicago.
baby.
Chicago.
It's a story.
They trying to make a story.
Let me tell you something. They are telling the story.
It was a stormy day.
Let me tell you something. You think Kanye ain't gonna
They're
make a
children's
whole
book.
rap about it?
They're a
About all the
children's
kids? But anyway.
Too much.
So I was scrolling and then I saw, this whole thing. Not about, well, first it was the pictures of Kim, the naked pictures of Kim
With the cornrows?
with the
Well, they wasn't
cornrows.
cornrows. They was.
Yeah, with the beads. I
Okay.
saw that. And then I think everybody had the same question of, but why are you doing this? We don't get it. Everybody commented on it. So that's that. Then it was the baby. Then she put the naked pictures out there. Beyonce was all out looking fabulous. Her and Jay-Z looking like queen,
The king
royalty,
and queen
right?
of Zamunda.
With Blue Ivy at the hip, with her juice, her snacks, and all that. So everybody was just like not here for Kim Kardashian and that, because they like, wait a minute, what is B doing?
Yeah.
Hold on. So that was that, and then came the sister, Kylie, who had the baby, the baby named Stormy. where she didn't want to talk. She went on social media for 9 months. She wanted to have a nice pregnancy. Which, hey, by all means, she wanted to be, and I ain't mad at it. So everybody was all excited once the pictures came out. You know, now she's showing it. She did this whole video, 11 minutes long. That's how you was looking. That's why we was looking with the video. 11 minutes long about, you know, a letter for the daughter. And then I heard some things within the video that I'm just thinking to myself, oh, okay. So one of those things were, so you know, she's 20, which she ain't the first nor the last 20-year-old that's gonna have a baby. Now the fact that she has millions of dollars, I mean, maybe that could be the difference in most the average 20-year-old having a baby.
Absolutely.
But okay. But in terms of age-wise, no. And one of the comments that somebody in the video made was one of her friends was saying how she always wanted to be a mother.
Since 15.
Since 15.
So 5 years.
Right, 5 years. She's wanted to be a mother.
Since she was 15.
And what was the other one? She wanted the best.
She
one
wanted
of the
her
friends.
homegirl to wait to get pregnant around the same. She's like, I hope you don't have the next one until I'm pregnant.
Right, so we can be pregnant together. And, you know, I mean, that's like typical girly stuff. Oh, we gonna have our kids together kind of thing.
Is it?
No, not at 20.
Not at 20. I'm saying,
You
like,
still trying
you
to
know
pop,
when.
lock, and drop it in the club. Ain't nobody
Right,
trying to
that's
no
typical.
babies at 20.
No. Y'all never. Okay, forget it. All right. But my point
Yeah,
is.
when we grow up and we like.
But that's what I'm saying. When you
Right.
grow up and saying, "Oh, our kids can play together," like that kind of
that.
talk. I'm not saying we actually.
No.
When you had sex, I'm having sex, and when you ovulate,
you
not like
right
that.
now? Okay.
Right.
When is
Not
that?
like that. But I'm just saying,
Let's
like.
safeguard calendars. So we can ovulate at
But my point is that our kids gonna play together.
Okay.
In that sense, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I was just like really taken aback about the whole video. It's like just the whole thing, and I'm thinking to myself. At 15, you wanted to be, and I know some people who want to be a mother. I guess maybe because it wasn't for me. That was the first thing from my mind. I feel like you spend most of your teenage years trying not to get pregnant.
Right.
But you was, at some point, you're
I
would
want
wanna
maybe
be
you
a
want to
mother at some
get
point.
maybe at some point you want to get pregnant. But it was just I don't know. What did you think of it? Just the whole.
I didn't understand it. I mean, I didn't understand Chris on there talking about, oh my God, you're just going to be the best mom. You were like me for this. Oh my God, this is going to be amazing. You're wonderful. I didn't get it. Because I got pregnant at 20 years old.
Papa Pope.
Papa Pope would
Papa
be.
Pope would have
You would be Black History.
their life. Like, I'm sorry, you're what?
Right.
What if, no.
Right.
No. I don't
And
know.
I mean, and again, I don't think. I mean, you are grown technically. You're 20.
pregnant shit,
I mean,
like,
she's on her own. She got money, so
It's a different.
it's totally different from when I'm thinking 20 of being pregnant. I mean, I had my daughter at 23, so to me that was already young. Like I was afraid to tell my mother that I was pregnant, so it wasn't like I was around boasting like, "Yay, guess what, Mom? You're about to be a grandmother." Girl, I hit it.
But she was out there living. I mean, she's been
Like a
living
40-year-old anyway.
like a 40-year-old.
Yeah, and
for
looking
a
like
minute.
one.
Right. For a minute.
I'm just
So
saying, we
where-
was concerned
where-
about what the
where
baby
else
gonna look
was she
like.
gonna go anyway?
I'm about to say, can I
Right.
insert shade here?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Does
yeah.
anybody know what this child gonna look like?
I know.
Because your baby daddy is not attractive, and your old face ain't attractive either.
We forget
So
that. We forget
we,
that.
Yeah.
I hope she will, and she remember what she used to look like. I need
That
to
she
see
won't.
this baby
That
up close
she
and
won't.
personal. I want to see the baby here.
The
I wanna
baby,
be-
I think the baby will be cute.
do you?
Yeah, I mean, it might take on other genes.
Do you remember her what she looked like?
I do.
And I'm not saying.
See, and that's what I'm saying. This is where people can't just be. But honestly,
The
she
baby
didn't
can't
want to
just-
be
the
in
baby
this. The
can't
baby can't be either, because we already judging with the baby from the name to the this to that. We already think the baby gonna be terrible looking.
Baby's only 2 weeks old, and we
Only
already
2
judging.
weeks. Oh, poor baby.
I hope she got some headbands.
Right. Well, I'm just saying. So that whole story, I don't know. I think that when you're in the limelight, of course, it's totally different. But just again, it's another level of this expectation of what it means to be like. To me, the Kardashians already set this. It's just unrealistic. I mean, this is their life. This is the life they made and bound me. But I just, with their life, what's unrealistic about their life?
Oh, that's what you're saying. Their
Their lives are unrealistic.
unrealistic.
Like
Okay.
to me, it's like even when I did watch the show, it was like, oh, you want to get salad? I'm gonna get a salad. You get a salad? I want a salad. Oh my goodness, I'm getting fat. Oh my goodness, look at me. Like it was
Did you
just
eat
like,
those croutons?
oh my
God.
gosh, there's like
How many-
10% fat in there. Oh my god, like it was.
Calories is that?
So I'm just like they just live unexpected. It's like.
Meanwhile, I'm like, can I get extra cheese and bacon on this salad, please?
And you don't promote that
But
because
that-
it's Black History Month. I'm gonna say you this: you need to watch what you eat. We shouldn't be eating bacon cheeseburgers.
I
During
said
Black
bacon
History
on my
Month?
salad.
Oh.
I can't get some bacon and cheese on my salad.
I mean, I guess. But is it ranch dressing?
I was
You
just
know,
about to say, I was just.
Cause then you want to put balsamic. I'm sorry, as the
mean,
girl said at McDonald's, blasmic
Oh, not blasphemy.
vinaigrette on your
And she was
salad.
with a straight face.
She was with a straight face.
Alright.
Oh, she meant well.
She did.
It's Baltimore City Public Schools.
God bless
Oh. Anyway,
Then
I'm
yes,
sorry.
can I have my bacon?
yeah, you had your bacon with your blasmic dressing.
blasmic?
But I'm just saying, like, they just live unrealistic lives for the average person. Like, y'all not.
Yeah. Yes, for the average person, and that's the problem, that people think that that's like
Supposed to be
they're
the
aspiring to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and it's like even with the braids, when she had the braids and she like, oh, these like Bo Derek braids. I'm like, do you not understand that Bo Derek?
Got the-
Those are not Bo Derek braids. She may have worn them, but they're not hers.
Yeah,
Isn't it the
but
same
Tanya
hairstyle that
said,
was
say
on my
what
Kenya
now?
doll?
He said that,
Tanya
yeah,
said,
exactly.
what
Say
now?
what now? Exactly.
Isn't that how the Kenya doll hair was braided?
The Kenya.
Oh, the Barbie doll?
You never
Oh
saw
yeah,
the Kenya
yeah.
doll?
Yes,
Okay.
braided like that. Exactly.
Oh, so she had the Kenyas. Oh, all right. Girl, them
just saying.
Kenyas was cute,
You
girl.
gotta keep 88.
Them Kenyas was real cute.
So anyway, I don't know. I just brought it up because I'm just like, I don't know.
But,
They-
but
they-
that whole family now is in the category of but why?
They
But
are.
Why are we still watching? Why do we still
Because
care?
some people obsessed
Why
with
do we
them.
still care?
Why do we still care?
Yeah, it's true. And Pat would say that all the time, like, why do you watch it? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm watching it because of the fashion. And I'm
I
thinking to
used to watch
myself,
it because of their
No,
nails.
I thought they were entertaining. To some, I thought they were funny.
Nail salon. I was in the nail salon a few years ago, and it was like a marathon, and I was just like, I just mesmerized. When I went home,
And they all
People
talk-
really live like
and they
this.
all talk the
They
same.
all talk the same.
They ate the salad out the container.
that's what
They
I'm saying, the
always
salad.
drinking the smoothie, and I was just like, wow.
Are you going to work out? Because I'm going to work out. Are you going to work out? I'm going to work
Nails
out.
are always done. Like they're
Oh,
always
my
done.
gosh.
And then one day I was like, why?
I
am
do like the fact
watching
that their
this?
nails are done.
Their nails are always
Always
nice.
done. Well, they should be. I
They're
mean, you making
doing
that kind of
nothing.
money. You're doing
You do
nothing.
nothing.
Right. I
You're
mean,
eating salad.
Why should your nails not be done?
Exactly.
I'm just saying. So anyway, so that was one story. Then I wanted to kind of circle back to what we had talked about a couple weeks ago about the Me Too movement and this whole thing about Aziz. I think his name is Aziz.
Oh, sorry.
And yes, and how, because I don't think we talked about him. And the story was that, and he's, what's the show he's from? Masters of None. Is it Masters of None? And so he basically went out on a bad date. I mean, he met somebody. They hooked up. It was a bad date. She said it was bad sex or whatever. And so, and then she basically blasted him. And I was thinking to him, but why?
But she said she blasted him because after she had saw him at either a party or an award ceremony when he said he was in support of the Me Too movement.
Right,
and
right.
He was against sexual harassment of
Right.
women and things like that.
And she was saying that basically it was basically she wasn't attracted to him no more. Like I think it was the whole point of him being who he was.
Right.
They hooked up. It wasn't great. And then you just leave it at that.
Right.
But she took it to because everybody's like, well, did he hold you against your will?
Right.
Did he, say you couldn't leave? Like, what happened? And and it was none of that.
Right.
And so now I'm like, do you put somebody on blast because it was bad sex? I mean, I'm like, honestly, you just met him. Why? What's there to talk about? You
And
move on.
the story you went
I'm
into
just saying.
such great detail.
I mean,
and
mad
with that
detail.
great detail, you were performing sexual acts on him that you volunteered.
And you did. So I was just trying to
You could
understand.
have said no.
You could have. So if he wasn't holding you down, saying
Right.
you better do this and better, if y'all exchanging
Hello.
together, consenting to this situation, you had a bad date and you move on.
And I feel like she should so have charges brought against her.
Yeah, because
Because-
That's slander.
Yes, absolutely.
So how is this man gonna ever go on a date? Now everybody know.
No, I'm not interested. I saw the story.
Maybe they're just in jail. Maybe it's not necessarily him. Could have been her, for real.
It could have been, but
Yeah,
I'm just
the way
saying.
she portrayed the story
did. It made
is
it
what I was
bad.
saying. Like, no, there should
So how
definitely
can he not be a part of the Me? I mean, how can he not stand up for Times Up or Me Too because y'all had it bad? And so I think what she was saying was while they were at the house where he was still coming on to her, I think she was saying he was being forceful and that. Like, and I'm thinking he said. So she said she sent them a text saying, "I can't believe last night." And he was like, "Oh, I thought we were okay." And he like. So he didn't even know what was
she was
going
saying
on.
that it was aggressive. That he
Yeah, that's
was
what
she
she was like, it was
aggressive during
aggressive.
the
It
sex.
made her uncomfortable.
But She never even
he
said
never
that
said
at
you can
any
leave.
time that, you know what, that's too much. I don't like that. Don't choke me. Don't slap me, whatever. She never said that in any of it. She went along with the sex. And then the next day you going to send a text message saying about last night? What about it?
Right.
I got mine. Did you get yours? Like, I don't understand what we
And
talking
he was,
about.
and he was like, I'm sorry, did I misread what happened here?
No.
And so he didn't know. But I'm just saying, like, and this is where people mess up a movement.
Yep.
Because you cannot put this in the same category. And then I saw some women posting, you can't say that was her experience. It was her experience, but I'm saying they were consenting. They both consented to it.
Yeah.
So how's that a part of the Me Too movement? Somebody's using their power to sexually assault someone or rape them or whatever the case may be. That's not the same.
But didn't she come on to him?
Exactly.
Girl,
So that's what I'm saying.
you need
Like,
a button. Have a seat. I hope somebody
you got a button to say.
But
You
why?
tried it.
So it is a but why? Like, why are you even bringing this up? Like, you just blasting this man because it was a bad date
You
or
know
whatever.
what? Do you work?
Anywho.
That's crazy.
So then, here's the next topic. Quincy Jones.
Wow.
No, you're not.
That's
Yes,
the but
you think
why.
I'm not? You think I'm not when I am? Let me tell you something. Quincy Jones. Did you see this article? This
I saw part of it.
Okay, first of all,
That's
Quincy
the part
Jones
that
is
he's
literally
like about,
he's 80. I'm not even joking. He's
Yes.
84 years old.
Yes, and he was talking about.
He got 20 women.
Yeah.
22. 22.
Get his number straight.
I'm sorry, 22 women,
Like all of
and
the
they all
world.
know about each other. No, okay, fine.
Look at it.
Nobody cares. I don't really care about who
Yeah.
Quincy Jones
How
is
old
with.
are these women? And what is he really doing?
I don't know, but that's only the first part of the story. Because in this article that we just read when I came over here, we were coming over here. Oh, he goes in.
Yeah.
This
He's
is
losing his
beyond.
mind,
The
pretty
man is gone. Now he won't come down. Hold on. He
Yeah.
blasphemy
Big
against the
pimpin'.
king of pop. See, when you come against. I know.
But people don't
Yes,
know.
I got to know. So he talked about Michael Jackson being a song thief.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about Marvin Gaye, Richard Pryor.
Ray Charles.
No, I ain't even did that part. They had sex with Marlon Brando. I mean, he just going. Here go Kristen. Who's Marlon Brando? I'm like the Godfather. He's like the God.
Unbelievable stuff.
Like, what is
He's
Quincy?
like, I'm in my final days.
See that?
I'm airing everybody dirty
Putting
laundry.
it all out there.
Doing this Nino Brown shit.
I'm in my last
I'm
days.
just.
That's right.
Going there. Everybody going there. Everybody going
Somebody
there.
needs to be
Days.
like,
Right.
no, daddy, go sit down.
Right.
Where's
That was
his
your father
22
calling
women?
in.
His 22 women needed to be like,
No, that's about they 22. Each of them are 22. 22 years old.
And they're like, who's Michael Jackson?
This article was just, he just randomly saying.
He just going on.
People just like-
Why are you bringing up people? I mean,
Right.
don't come on there,
Okay,
Richard
like,
Pryor.
why?
Like, why are you bringing this up? What is it? Why is this
he's
relevant?
losing it.
And why you?
Picture this though. Picture that. It doesn't even make sense.
No.
Marvin Gaye, Marlon Brando. What?
Now, I'm saying there's been talk about Marvin Gaye,
Picture that.
but I don't
But here's my
picture
thing.
Richard Pryor
But
and
he didn't exactly say that. I think
he didn't exactly say what.
he didn't exactly say that he had sex with them. I'm thinking that they're twisting that
they
we're
was all
misinterpreting the words. So he said that Marlon Brando would fuck anything. Then he said Richard Pryor.
You saying-
Marvin
oh,
Gaye.
okay.
So maybe he's saying they all would fuck anything. Not saying they
would-
fuck him.
No, but let me tell you
He's
something.
just saying.
You know what the headline said?
I know what the headline
Richard
says.
Pryor.
No, the headline says Quincy Jones semicolon
Right.
and then
Not the
you know
semicolon.
the stuff.
And
Well,
that's
not
what I'm saying.
semicolon, but
I know
whatever,
what you're
you know
saying.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's Black History Month. Let's not do this
I don't
to
want
Richard
that
Pryor.
in any month. Let's not.
It's not. Let's not make that a part of history.
No.
Like certain things are just, and that's it. Like when people want
It
to
is
talk
your
about,
business.
especially if you involved, like you literally out here, like why are you doing this now at 84 years old? Like
That whole
if you
story
want to
made
do
me
a
feel like,
memoir,
but why? Someone, why?
why are you doing this? Somebody need to say something.
But why?
Where's your
Literally.
caregiver? Where's your caregiver?
The-
He hasn't had his medication.
He was in there. While she was in there doing sleeping. He was like this. And so then they said, and then so.
This is my girlfriend now.
When
The caregiver, they done gave him caregiver sleep. Right.
It's like, come on now.
I'm just like, Quincy, what are you doing? Like, can we just? All I want to think about is you Secret Garden,
Right.
you and Thriller.
Right.
I don't want to think about you with no 22 women,
No.
and you talking about Richard Pryor, Marlon Brando, Marlon Gaye. Like,
Right.
what are you talking
Because you're
about?
literally
Something
a
just need to
sponsor.
die with
That's
people.
about it.
Let
Literally.
that be Black History.
Let it be.
Because that just, I don't
And the fact that you're bringing this up, and
I don't care.
nobody cares. I know. It's
A lot of people don't know who he is.
I'm about to say, some
Right.
people looked at that and said, "Who is Quincy?"
Is that what it is? You're trying to make,
Generation.
and you know what? This is another thing, though. This is what I will say about social media. Social media then allows people who just come up from the depths of the earth, just coming and talking about stuff, and they say, no, they relevant again. I'm
It's
serious.
like the uncle that's down in the basement in the room in the
And then-
basement, and then all.
He came upstairs.
You like, oh, you alive? I thought he was dead.
And he got a whole article.
A whole
He
article
was down there on the phone.
talking
And
while the
nobody
caregiver
knows.
was asleep.
Right.
The
And
caregiver was out,
There's a
knocked
whole
out
picnic
cold.
Going on, and he was down there giving an interview.
Yeah, I blame the caregiver for this story. But why was you sleep?
The caregiver was right there. She was feeding him.
But why were you
The
slipping?
caregiver was
But
feeding.
why did you not give him his medicine?
I'm done with Quincy
But why
Jones.
are you there?
I couldn't believe it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's
It's too much.
It is too much.
That's
Was his
ridiculous.
Twitter was this like a live interview? Was he saying this, or was this like posted on his social media?
No, it was a live. It was an interview.
He wasn't hacked.
No,
It was
he
a
wasn't
real-
hacked. Not all that
He
information.
said
He was.
these words out of his mouth, and they've been piecing bits of the article.
Was he
out.
hungry?
Anyway,
He was
so
thirsty.
you say I'm thirsty.
He was thirsty.
Anywho, so yeah, I don't know. I just think that this day and age, it's just honestly, it's too much. I get overwhelmed with
That's
social
why I
media.
said last time, the cultural fatigue. Cultural fatigue.
I know.
It's too much.
And I just
And
and
you
they
be
give.
right in
I
it.
know.
You
I
just be
do.
in
I
the
be in
thick of it.
the. I do. I'm in the throes. I feel like, but see, that's what. But it's really
I
not
think
just.
you're addicted.
I might be.
Addiction. I think
What,
it's-
to social media?
I do.
Oh no. Do we have to have an intervention?
No.
I mean,
Because I
keep
sent
an
up.
eye. We'll monitor.
I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know if it's really an addiction. I just get worked up about the comment section. That's the part I love. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know who has this much time. I guess me. Cause I've been like, I'm mad. And look, the funny thing about I'm mad busy at work and school. Like, and I think that's the only time I had to just like scroll.
That's the only time you can be.
That's the only time I can just be when I ain't gotta think. I ain't gotta strategize. I
But
ain't
then
gotta
she
think
gotta
on
send
the-
it to you like, no,
And I gotta send it-
I can't let this one alone. I gotta share.
Cause when I share, I be saying, I just
I
be like,
appreciate it. I appreciate
no,
it.
I do that once so y'all can keep up. Cause y'all just be, I mean,
Sometimes, because sometimes I had to come to her like, I'm not talking to you. Don't send me anything else.
I'm just saying
You're
some
in
of them
timeout.
are just so free. Like, you know, a good example of somebody just being is when they showed those little kids at the Ron Clark Academy when they got the
with the Black Panther.
with the Black Panther. They got
Oh,
the-
yeah,
I watched
that was
several
cute.
times.
I know you can't help but
That's
watch it,
awesome.
and I'm just
That
like,
made me happy.
to me, that's the part I feel like I know that school is doing great things, and they say it's like a wait list to get in that school,
I
but
bet.
but just how the environment for those kids to just be, to be who they are, to be as black as they want to be, as loud as they want to be, as creative as they want, like that. I wish that part is something that can be extended outward, and not just in that one environment, because that's the part I feel like a lot of our kids don't get a chance to be,
Yeah.
because they can't create their own world.
Yeah.
But
of
isn't
just
social
being.
media doing that though? I think by advertising and showing it is getting to a lot of different schools and educators saying, okay, let's try this. Clearly what we've been doing hasn't been working. Let's kind of give them a platform to express themselves and see if that works.
I think so. I think that it does allow that, but I also think that, remember, you know, the algorithms that have come up on your, like, whatever you used to, like, clicking and all that, that's the only thing that comes. So some people may not even get a chance to see
Yeah.
some of the positive things that are going on. If you only
Right.
clicking on
Right.
when world star fighting
Right.
and so, that's what you want to get every time you get to scrolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. It's trained to.
Yeah.
But speaking of Black Panther and just being,
Mm.
people won't let Black people
Just
be.
be?
Just let us just
Let
be
it just
in the-
happen?
Let it just happen.
Yeah.
Let us have.
I think
Black
they're afraid
Panther.
of it.
Then that's exactly it. When you're again, do your work. Do your work. People are so like literally trying to sabotage the movie before
It's
it's
so
even come
crazy.
out.
Right.
They're already fearful because a cast of beautiful Black people
Right.
playing superheroes.
Right.
Let us just be great.
Right.
Like we're great in real life.
Right.
Now Like we
Right.
done took over sports. We got music. We got. And now they're afraid that now
Now
they
they
got
gonna be a
the
superhero.
comic. Now they got.
Right.
Just let us. Can we?
And the
just
fact
have
that
this
it's
movie?
taking this long for it to even
Can we
come
just have
out,
this movie?
let's let it
Just
happen.
let it
But I'm
happen.
so happy
I'm
it's coming
so
out in
so
Black
happy.
History Month.
Yeah, well, that's how. Come on now, you know they were going. Come on now,
Just let it happen.
on purpose, like and it should be. Like I feel like it should just be played every day,
Yes, back to back.
back to back. Just come on. I mean, it's already sold out, and like you could forget the
Yeah.
day of.
Got
I
my
got the
tickets.
ticket. In the weekend, I think the only time I saw it was like
Cheaply.
Sunday or something like that. But
Yeah.
no, I think
Just
you're
let
right.
it
Just
be.
let it happen.
White people can't just let us be.
She wants
We
to
can
know
just
if
mind
you-
our own business,
Tanya wants
making a movie.
She said what?
Y'all want her to come on and talk about Black Panthers?
Call.
So
Call.
this person said this earlier.
Call
on
Lindsay.
Facebook.
Oh, wait a minute.
I want to get y'all thoughts on this. So they said that the Black Panther movie has nothing to do with the Black Panther Party. Why y'all acting like that?
Why? Who acting like the white people?
No, we're talking about black people. Because
we
that,
wanna
they're
see-
No,
acting
he's saying it has nothing to do with-
dashikis and acting
Oh,
like.
because we're proud. You
Like-
can still be proud.
But
They
why?
doing it for the
But is that
culture.
the
What's the
only thing we
difference?
have is a Black Panther Party? That's not all we have to be proud
No, I'm
of.
saying that they're acting like. So based on the post that I saw, they're saying, why are we acting like it's
A big thing.
yeah.
Because it's a.
'Cause
we
it's
go.
Why
a
we connecting
comic.
it with
I hate stupid
Black
questions.
power?
Hold on, because this is what I'm talking about being too woke. Because then it's like we can't even. It's a movie,
can't just
yo.
be- we can't
It's
just
a
be in a
movie.
It's a superhero like this is a big deal.
It is
to
a
have
big
Did they
deal.
say that when
black
Thor movie
Cap-
came out
Kendrick
or
Lamar's
Captain
doing the
America?
soundtrack. This is
Come
a
on
big
now.
deal. It's not. It doesn't have to be.
Leslie, you say you can't
political.
hear anymore. What us talking or
It
what's
doesn't
going
have to
on?
be political. It's just this is a big moment. Like let us show
Right.
up again.
It's like every other movie that
if
comes
we
out.
want to show up looking like Coming to America, going
Yes.
into the movie theater.
Let it be.
Let
The
it
purple
be.
carpet, all
Let
of
it
that.
be.
No.
With the
Let it
drums
be.
and the rose petals at the
But
feet.
you know why? Because
Yeah, that's
any,
right.
I feel
Just
like
let it be.
she said it's distorted. Oh, she said the sound is distorted. So I don't know if it's on Facebook Live or what.
Man, they just don't
Okay.
want us to be great. That's all it
Sounds
boils
like
down
it.
to.
Oh, maybe it's the phone,
Oh, the signal probably.
the signal. But I was thinking like every time when we do have something, it always turns into, oh my goodness, what does this mean? When instead of just, it's not. Why does it always have to mean something? And that's what I'm saying about
But
even the
why
person.
does it have to be anything?
But wait a
other
minute,
than-
even with this person's
That's
comment,
exactly.
because it's like from both sides. Like now it's not
Absolutely.
black enough. Because then you're talking about black.
being excited about something positive is like unheard of.
But
Like
why
the
does it-
only
we're-
time
and
we
it's
can
a
band
movie,
together
though.
is when we
Making it-
protesting against like H&M and stuff. Like, what are you doing? Like, why can't we just be great and happy? Why can't
That's
we just
right.
have this moment?
I'm
and
Why
just
sorry,
can't
enjoy
we
it's
be
it?
happy
a
to see a bunch
movie.
of beautiful black people on the screen doing stuff that we ain't seen them do before?
And we not slaves. Damn. Can we give us the moment?
Right, it's not a Tyler Perry movie.
Nope.
Like, I mean, I like Tyler Perry, but I'm just saying, are those the
Yeah.
only black movies we can celebrate?
Right.
Why
No,
can't
that's
we
what.
celebrate Black Panther? It has nothing to do with politics or anything. It's just a
No,
beautiful.
and we ain't gotta be out here making the comparison to nothing
No, we just
because
want to enjoy
Well,
seeing our people.
because that's always a
Not a
like.
black man in a wig. Like, come on now, we playing Medea.
But see,
Stop, like,
you know
stop.
what?
It's too much.
This is something we actually should bring up, and I don't know how much time we got. Because one of the things we talk about is between theater and like the entertainment world and that sort of thing, and how black people feel like they're being portrayed in movies and that thing and that sort of thing. And so I think that anytime something when it is an all black cast, it becomes this black movie.
Right.
And I think that with Marvel, they didn't market it that way.
That's right.
As a black movie,
That's
it's just
right.
a movie,
It's just
right?
a movie.
Just a movie, and which kudos to them for just this is what it
Absolutely.
is. There's
So
no
that's why
nothing,
we're excited about
right?
it.
And
That's
so,
why we're excited about it.
which goes to then when we are in certain roles where people we say we want to see ourselves on the screen, but we only want to see us in a certain way.
That's
And
right.
so I'm saying that as dynamic and as complicated as people that we are, we not always going to be the lawyer, the doctor, the this, the that shows this but it's complicated.
Right.
I mean, there's
Right.
depth. It's not just this one way. It's not good and bad. And so people get the whole, even when it came to like the Denzel and in Training Day compared to,
Right.
Holly Berry and Monsters Ball.
Yeah.
Like people get, I don't want to see them like that. And I'm just like, it's art.
Yeah, it's art.
And that's all it is. So you can't
And let
say
us
you don't want us to
celebrate.
read.
Let us celebrate the art for the art's sake.
That's it.
Period.
It's
White
a
people-
script.
White people, calm down.
It's a screenplay.
Just calm
It's
down.
a stage play.
Calm down. Go see the movie. Enjoy it as a movie, because that's what it is. White movies come out all the time with all white cast,
This is a laugh.
and it doesn't mean
It's funny.
anything. They're movies.
Enjoy yourself.
We go,
But we
watch,
gotta turn
we
it
enjoy.
into.
But
But we, I mean, I ain't gonna
It
lie.
gotta be
But
a
we
thing.
turn, we can turn anything into a movement.
Well, true, but I'm just
But I
saying.
think that's what. No, but that's where.
But that frustrates.
But that frustrates people. That's where because we now
because
because
we have to celebrate every opportunity we have.
Right.
When we see it that way, and it's so big and major, and we don't get to see ourselves that way on a regular.
It took so long.
Yeah,
like,
it's
why
weird.
would
But
you
that's what I'm
not
saying.
celebrate?
so
It's
that's
crazy.
why.
Yeah.
So we can't. So I think what we're saying is it is just a movie, but for us, it's always going to be these kind of things
Until
turn
we
into a
see it
movement,
on a regular.
right? Until there's no more first,
Until there's no more first, and it's a regular occurrence. Like, oh, it's just another
right?
movie
Black
with a bunch of black
superhero.
people in it.
Right.
Then we won't,
Yeah.
show up looking like Coming to America. But until then,
Until then, we will be
You
in
gonna
full
come in
guard.
we'll be
looking
in
like
full.
Yes.
black magic. And
I cannot wait to see. I'm gonna because you already know. I already know IG. I mean, it's gonna be blowing up. People, I can only imagine because they. I mean, even the fact of taking all of these kids, because they did the same thing for Hidden Figures. Because even though that was a true story,
Right.
but it was still that bringing those things to light so
That's
kids
right.
can
To
see
yourself.
see yourself
like I
in
said
that.
before.
And display that way. So I think that it's a
Yeah.
great thing. So I know we definitely going to see it.
I'm gonna have my drums
I'm gonna be
playing
right.
on my
Not
cell
the
phone.
drum. This one right here, like.
It'll be in there.
Because if we go there, we should go there. If you walk down a little aisle like
Yes.
that with a
With a
whole.
few rose cups.
I'm here for anybody. If any theater does that, I'm gonna be like, that would be
Yes.
so
That
awesome.
would be hot.
Yes.
That would be hot.
Somebody needs to do
That
that.
would be hot.
Listen,
They have like the drums and people
why
out
I
there
gotta wait for you to
dancing.
celebrate me? No.
Or like on the Remember the Time video.
Oh yeah, that's everything.
Do you like
Like
the
a whole
dance
dance scene, like also in Coming to America.
Yeah.
That would be hot.
Wouldn't it be hot?
That would be.
That would be hot.
Who's gonna do it?
Yeah.
Now, would you be mad if it be white people?
I'm done. Are we finished? Are we done for the night? Cause Krishna's, I'm done.
It's gonna be
Hey,
Kim
y'all, good
Kardashian.
night.
It's gonna be the Kardashian with the braids
No.
and all the
No,
babies.
I'm not gonna make it to the movie because then I'm gonna have to shut you down.
No.
No.
I'm just saying, we
Kanye
can't
gonna
get out.
produce it. Kanye gonna produce it.
That's when people get mad. We can't have nothing. We can't have nothing.
No.
Kanye gonna produce it.
Anyway, anyway,
You said
y'all.
come.
She's so stupid. We had a great show tonight. I feel like.
I can't even.
Did we get some things out?
Did we?
But why?
But why?
But why did we do this show? Because your father had a concern about the show and the topic.
You wanted some Black history.
He did, but that wasn't Black History. Go see Black Panther.
That's right.
Hello.
They woke.
All right. This is Krishna.
It's Victoria.
And this is Kristen.
Wow.
It's just
Frustrated.
Frustrated.
a lot for one day. I'm
Come on,
sorry.
that's Black History Month. Be proud, girl.
Right. Oh, I
Be black
am.
and proud.
And this is Kristen.
It already went on.